Hey you guys, today I'm gonna be making another video about Hannah and Nick D, and honestly I'm like team Hannah. Come for me all you want, cancel me all you want, but I have to say that like I'm team Hannah in this situation when it came to their whole breakup situation at the end of like these episodes that came out. And honestly, just the fact that now we're down to 3 couples left at the altar. And honestly, I don't know. I just have to side with also there's background noise, so sorry about that. But I also just have to side with Hannah because I'm just like there is no way that this guy was not established and he came on the show. And I think that like Nick, he came on the show to be a celebrity, and I think he came on the show to kind of like move himself out of his parents' house and to probably help him better financially. That's how I see it, because just like all in these episodes, you could just see them fighting constantly with each other nonstop. Like Hannah was Hannah was a little bit critical towards Nick D, but I'm just like Nick D kept on entertaining it, and Nick D, he never found like the right idea of like when to like leave the situation and stuff like that. And they were just going back and forth at it. Even when Nick was talking to Katie, I was just like, is he more comfortable with talking to Katie or just what? Simply because of the fact that like it seemed like that they were having a grand old time, and then you basically had Katie being like, oh, like Nick is actually hotter in real life and stuff like that than I thought he was. And I was just like, that I don't know if Hannah and Katie are still friends till this day, but I was just like, that was a little bit confusing and just weird, even at like the whole bachelor party. But honestly, I just think that Nick, he never had like the emotional capacity to be on a show like not Married at First Sight, to be on a show like Love is Blind, because I'm just like, there is no way that like you don't really like have your life together and like you come on a show. I think that to go on a show like Love is Blind, you have to have experience like living on your own, making your own decisions and whatnot, and like figuring out like, okay, like what is my next move in life, and then think about marriage. I just think that it's not ideal to think about marriage when you are still living at your parents' home and you are still like having trouble making like your own life decisions, and also when you're not even paying like all of the bills and stuff like that. Because I think that, let's say that Hannah and Nick D did decide to get married, Hannah is basically going to have a son. Hannah is going to have to take care of Nick D 24/7. And I think that like, I know like Nick's career is like real estate. And so I don't think that he was probably in the position to be like he probably, I don't know how real estate works, but I know like a lot, like real estate is complicated. Like when you're first starting real estate, like you are just trying to make money. You are just trying to get your first sales. Like some people don't even get a sale their first year of real estate. So it's just like, I don't know if he maybe had like the financial capacity, because he didn't really have a lot of knowledge in life when it came to like being with Hannah and stuff like that. And I think that like what questions Nick is that, did Nick really go to therapy? And I know people were kind of trying to like front towards Hannah for having the notebook in her hand when it came to like writing about the things, about like the 10 things that she hated about Nick D. And I mean, it was a little bit harsh, but I'm just like, I feel like that Hannah may know what therapy looks like, and she may have been in therapy. I'm just like, she is writing down the things that Nick D needs to work on, and Nick is just like taking it, like Nick was kind of just like nonchalant about everything. And even like when she was saying that like Nick D is not really like that intimate in The Bachelor, which I'm trying to hint at, I don't really want to say because it might be inappropriate for this channel, but like it's giving that Hannah didn't like really like, even when Hannah was talking to her mom, Hannah was like, yeah, he doesn't match me financially, he doesn't match me maturely, he doesn't match me at all, basically to her mother. And it was just like, I think that's what broke the camel's back, where it's just like Hannah was like, all right, I gotta leave this man because he's not really financially mature, emotionally or physically, to the point where he could like take care of himself. And I just think that like, if you're somebody who still has trouble making your own decisions and you're a person who's not independent, why apply for a show like Love is Blind? And I think that Nick was trying to use this show for like money, for clout, because I'm just like, why was Nick sticking around from time to time? And I was watching a YouTube video, and this girl, she was doing a YouTube video basically questioning Nick, like, Nick, why are you staying on this show? Like, why are you still on this show? if Hannah is treating you like this, why couldn't you have called it quits? And Nick was even saying, like, he was trying to bring it to the end and stuff like that. And then the girl was like, oh, like, I think it's fake. And honestly, I kind of think it's fake too, because I'm just like, me, if I had a man talking to me like that, let's say that me, like, I literally I don't have a lot of financial literacy, or I don't have a lot of literacy when it comes to like making my own decisions, getting on my own 2 feet and being independent. And then also, like, my man is getting frustrated at me every single time I ask for something, or like, it's just like, if I just see that, like, he just likes to switch up on me constantly, or like, if I just see that he's critical and he's always trying to like father me, and I had a guy like that at work, I'ma just leave. Like, I will never stick around for a guy that controls me or talks the way like Hannah does. And that's what Hannah was doing. I think Hannah was a little bit like controlling Nick D. And me, honestly, I would never do such a thing like that. Like me, I would never do a thing like that. I'm just like, that is just so wrong of me to just kind of like sit there and like judge a man. See, me, if I was in Hannah's shoes, I mean, I would still like try to like, be with Nick, but I'm like, okay, like, do you actually have the financial literacy? But I mean, I would kind of see me, I wouldn't really walk away and like break up with him on the spot if he didn't have his own place. But at the same time, it's just like, I feel like that a lot of women would like a man that can get up on his own 2 feet at the time of on a marriage show. Because if you're trying to get married in 4 weeks, you really want a guy who's already on their own 2 feet, who already has stuff established, who's already all that, who's gonna be so fun for your life, who could even maybe help you out in your life. And I think that Nick, he just brought nothing to the table. And like, Hannah was like, if you could contribute equally. And I'm like, yes, like, he needs to be able to contribute equally. Because I'm just like, it's just not fair that like Hannah has to initiate everything. How Hannah basically has to lead the marriage. And I think that it's kind of horrible that like Hannah had to lead this whole relationship. And I'm just like, a woman that has to lead a relationship is usually a red flag, and like it's usually a sign of a toxic relationship. But I'm just like, for me, I would never, like, I feel like that a man should always lead a relationship. And I think that Nick just didn't have that. Like, he just didn't have that. And I mean, like, at first I did like Nick, but I was just like, like, I don't know. And at one point I was like, maybe Hannah is too much, but I don't think she's too much. I think Hannah is being realistic. I think Hannah is being real on the fact like that, like, you have to kind of grow up. You have to find a way to like get up on your own 2 feet and learn how to cook, learn how to clean, learn how to do this, walk the dog, do this. And even when Hannah was asking like him or his responsibilities, yes, those are big responsibilities. Like with the whole pet he had, I have a pet too, and that's my biggest responsibility. But I'm just like, if I still lived with my parents and I'm like, and Love is Blind gives me an opportunity and like DMs me, I'm not gonna, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna go on this show. And I think the question that I have for Nick is that, why would you go on this show if you weren't really fully established yet? And I think Nick kind of used this show to kind of just like build himself up, maybe build his real estate career, or even just become a celebrity. And I think it's like not working in his favor, because if you think about it, like this season right now so far, they are not getting really like a lot of followers like past seasons have gotten, which I may be wrong. For like later episodes after the reunion, we'll see how like they'll like gain followers. But like this, like season 6, they blew up. Like they blew up significantly. Like, I mean, even Trevor, who had a whole girlfriend on the show, had 200K followers, okay? Even Sarah Ann, who was like hated also on like last season, has 90,000 followers, which I believe is like more followers than like the whole cast as itself. And like really like the only person who's like so far getting lots of followers is Hannah, Taylor, and Brittany. And like that's who I could think of. And it's like for the men on this season, like they are not really getting the followers. Like I didn't see any of the guys on this show hit 200K followers just yet. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't think if Nick D was trying to use this show for clout, I don't think it's really working in his favor, because I'm just like, this season is not really going viral for some people, and this season is not really hitting for some people. And like, yes, I know this season I love this season. Like, I'm loving this season so far. Like, I'm loving this season. Like, I really enjoy, like, all, like, the drama with, like, that's happening with, like, DC and everything like that. Like, just the fights that are happening. I'm waiting for the reunion. Like, I really like this season, but I don't know if I could say it's, like, one of my favorite seasons. This season may be my least favorite season, but I feel like that after, like, I finished the season, I may be able to say, like, this was still a good season. I don't know. But it's, like, I feel like that. I'm just like, Nick, why did you entertain Hannah? And I'm just like, do people entertain toxic women just for, like, clout, just for fame? I'm just like, why did Nick just let Hannah just lead her on like that? I'm just like, and Nick took no initiative to lead the relationship as well. Like, I didn't see Nick taking any initiative when it came to, like, leading the relationship. So I'm just like, it was all Hannah that had to put on the work and, like, take on the weight. So I'm just like, I don't understand. I really don't understand where, like, this is coming from or whatever like that. Cause I'm just like, I don't know. Like, the whole situation with, like, Hannah and Nick D, I'm just like, I wasn't really buying it. And, like, the fact that, like, Nick D didn't really say anything when Hannah was talking to him like that, and he didn't really speak up, it just seemed like that Nick D was kind of just there for the cameras, the fame, the money, which I don't blame him for. But I'm just like, the fact that people are even calling you out for, like, using this show to your advantage, I'm just like, it may be a little suspect. I'm just like, I mean, for me, if I was kind of treated like that by a man, I know I would not stay, because I even had like past friends who are literally just like Hannah. And I know for me, like, I would never like stay. I would literally never stay in a relationship like that. Like, it just could never be me. Like, it could never be me. Like, I would never stay in a relationship like that. I'm just like, it's just so, for me, it's just like so draining, and it's just a lot. Like, it's just a lot for me to entertain somebody like that. And I've had a friend like that who literally acted just like Hannah, like, as mean as she is, who acted just like her. And I literally was like, why am I friends with this girl? Like, and also, I'm like, I feel like that Hannah and Nick D were not for each other. Like, Nick D just doesn't really have a backbone, and Hannah has too much of a backbone, I believe. I think that it just, like, the balance between them two just doesn't even it out. And I know, like, some relationships work where it's like one person has a backbone and another person doesn't. But I'm just like, it's just not right for Hannah and Nick D. I think Hannah needs a man who's actually, like, independent, who actually has his own place, who has his own crib, who has gotten up on his own 2 feet, who has a life, who has standards set up for themselves. I think that Hannah just needs someone like that. Like, I really think that she just needs someone who's just, like, who could just grow up and, like, learn how to actually, like, do stuff and whatnot. Like, and I'm just like, the fact that Nick is 28 years old, and I'm like, honestly, I feel like that it's literally I think that it's fine for, like, an adult to, like, live with their parents until they're 50. But I'm just like, for you to go on, like, a show where you're supposed to be getting married in 4 weeks and, like, you're not really fully established, it's kind of suspect. Because I'm just like, why would you put yourself out there when you're not fully established yet? Because past seasons of Love is Blind, people literally had their own place first. Like, that was the first thing they had. I'm just like, how did Love is Blind not really background check that? But then I also noticed that, like, Love is Blind DC, they were having trouble casting people. So they just kind of just, like, casted anybody for this show, anybody for this season, because it was like DMV, the DC area. And that's why this season may be a little bit plain, because, like, the personalities to me were a little bit plain to me as well than, like, past seasons and, like, yeah, like the past 2 seasons we've seen. So I mean, I don't know, but I'm just like, there just needs to be, like, some clarity on, like, why would somebody go on a dating show when they don't even have their own place? I think I've seen a few other shows where people, like, they live with their parents, but I'm just like, see, for me, like, it's like, you have to kind of be established. I'm just like, if you still live with your parents and you want to go on a dating show for like the clout, go on a show like Love Island at least. Cause Love Island, you're not forced to get married. Love Island, you're just dating. So I mean, I really just do not know. But I mean, like, if it was me, like even me, like I still live with my parents, I would never apply to go on a show where I'm supposed to be getting married. And for I'm just like, I'm just gonna be a burden. And I said this on my TikTok, I'm gonna just be a burden to that person. So I don't know. Comment down below what you think about Hannah and Nick D with these past 2 episodes. Comment like just their breakup. What you think about like their breakup situation. I honestly was on Hannah's side with the whole breakup situation, because even that, like, you could just tell Nick D wanted to go home. And I think Hannah could just see that, like, Nick D wasn't really invested. I'm just like, if Nick D was really invested in this experiment, he would actually be taking initiative on the show, being like, okay, I'm going to be independent. I'm going to do this. Like, he would have said those things. And that's like, it's like every single time Hannah had to kind of just like tell Nick to be more confident rather than have so much ego. And then she had to tell Nick to like just grow up, like just grow up at the age of 28. So I think that Hannah being a mom to Nick D basically was just getting her tired, and she just had to call it quits after she had the conversation with her mother. And then she like had a conversation with Nick saying like, I'm not going to like try on wedding dresses. And it was a little bit sad. I don't know, like, but it was also like the breakup was kind of just a little bit awkward. Like, I don't know. The breakup was just super awkward. I really do not know. But comment down below what you think about like this whole couple and whatnot. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.